It's all about the brain, I tell you. Welcome back to Get Connected. I'm your host, Con Jackson. We've got to stay as smart as we can for as long as we can, and we're talking to a world-renowned man of the brain. Dr. Braverman joins us right now. Welcome, Doctor.
Hi, Con.
Hey, Dr. Braverman. It's great to talk to you today. When did you get your passion for brain chemistry?
You know, at 17, which is 38 years ago, I had a job at the Princeton Brain Biocenter, where a genius came up with the idea the brain was the most important organ of healthcare. And he said that we could sleep better, have clearer minds, think better if we focused in on brain chemistry, and I've been doing it ever since. I learned from Dr. Pfeiffer about inositol and how it worked like a natural anxiety nutrient that helped with sleep, how to improve dopamine so we could be thinner and fitter, and it changed my life. I've been able to have the sharper brain, and so I'm really giving people what I do every day for 10,000 patients with 40 workers in New York. We basically change brain chemistry to make you thinner and fitter, get rid of alcohol, cut down your salt and carbohydrates, get rid of marijuana and cocaine, get your mood more stable, your anxiety levels down, and avoid the attention and memory problems that most people have at 40 and 50 years old. We have natural hormones that are safe and a new exercise way that will improve blood flow to the brain. So it's all good news that we can be smarter than ever before.
Wow, Doctor, I'm sure excited to try out some of those ideas. But let me ask you in particular, when it comes to brain first, what do you mean by that, medically speaking?
I fit the basic concepts of brain first medicine. Since your brain's attached to your body, it's pretty important, and it affects everything in your body. So we deliver you head first, the same way a baby's delivered head first. So we get the overall conceptual plan of testing the brain more than we even test the heart, how to test the brain so you can improve memory and attention, how to measure how your brain sleeps, how to measure how your brain improves its thinking, how to enhance different areas of thinking, how to improve sleep, how to improve and reduce anxiety, depression, and medication usage, how to use natural hormones to keep your muscle and frame young. So everyone knows how short people get as they get older, how flabby they get, how they eat less, and they try harder and harder against aging and death, and they seem to lose. So we think we get you extra 15 years of sustained concentration, attention, and memory.
Wow, an extra 15 years would be amazing. But what is the key to reducing anxiety?
Well, the key on anxiety is to make sure that you utilize inositol and that you also utilize more fiber and that you get sufficient sleep. And that's nutrients like tryptophan and melatonin, and keep the caffeine at a lower level if you're getting more anxious. So there are many ways to cut the overall anxiety. Anxiety starts the cascade of most people's breakdowns in their thinking. So management of anxiety, either with brain calming nutrients, herbs, teas, spices, exercise, sex life, how we manage it, all add up to anxiety reduction.
Great advice, Doctor. And what can we do to increase our willingness to exercise as we age?
You have to change your brain chemistry. You're up against aging. Everyone wants to exercise almost always at 18, but at 28 and 38, they start to get a struggle. Dopamine drops, and therefore the motivation to exercise is lost. We try to trigger it again with small amounts of nutrients and hormones, and once you get into a good cycle, we can upregulate your exercise. And we also need a better corporate and society environment. In other words, I envision every corporation has a 10-minute exercise moment. We also replace our beverages with teas. We get more vegetables and fruits in. Everyone in the family starts getting exercise. Our community in general all has to change into an exercise culture.
Very interesting indeed. And Doctor, how would you suggest that we take some time in the morning to get our mental state right?
Yeah, well, I have a very special breakfast, but it takes some work. You have to have yogurt with cinnamon and choline powder and a touch of maple syrup, one of those fresh vegetable juices in a Vitamix with various vegetables. You have to get the eggs with fish oil and add fresh spices like tarragon and basil. You have to have pre-cut vegetables and chew on green beans and really have a luscious breakfast and give yourself sufficient time, because that breakfast is going to carry you throughout the day. And so it takes a little bit of work, and it takes some key supplements as you get older so you don't overdo the caffeine, such as brain energy nutrients every morning.
Though it sounds time consuming, it certainly sounds worth it. Now let me ask you, what in all the research you've done recently has surprised you the most, particularly with the brain?
I'd say my most recent research is that the brain slowing down eventually tips into a dementia process. If you slow down too much, your brain really starts to fall apart. And we see this on MRI, MRA, brain mapping. You get demyelinization, broken blood vessels, shrinkage of the brain cells, loss of brain cells. So really the battle for your brain is in that 30, 40, 50-year-old period so that you have a ripe old age of sharpness. And basically, I think people can live to 100 years old with high output, but you have to do the work when you're young, preparatory work.
Well, it seems never too late to start some great mental habits. But now when it comes to testing our brain, is there a great resource that we can follow up on, or do we need to just come and see you?
We have it. You can go to www.pathmed. There are a lot of different forms of testing out there. We do the brain mapping. Others do SPECT scans, MRIs, MRAs. We have some special memory and attention tests, but I agree with you. There's very little brain health checkups in one place. And that's probably going to change as younger brain and sharper mind, the system that we've created, becomes the standard. Everyone knows about colonoscopy, echocardiogram. There are standard checkups that are done for these organs. This book gives you the standard checkup for your brain. That's why it's called Younger Brain, Sharper Mind.
Great insight indeed. Doctor, thanks for joining us, and in particular for your passion for the brain.
Right, live long and prosper and have more abundant life with a healthy brain.
Certainly great connecting with Dr. Braverman, and if you want to learn about other Health Beat segments we've done recently, you can check them out on our Get Connected website at contv.com. Big surprise when we come back here to Times Square in New York City. The Big Apple is alive and well when we come back. So glad you got to check out that clip, but listen, we've got plenty more going on here at Get Connected, our TV show. My friend and I are going to give you a glimpse of all the fun, so take it away.
The sun shines bright as it moves across my face. I feel the light and everything is in its place. Oh, I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. And life is good the way it should, the way it was meant to be.
Well, join us and we'll get you in the know. Check us out at Get Connected at contv.com and be part of the movement.